1 minute. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our session today, which will be recorded and uploaded on YouTube. I'm Iman Abisab. I'm the chair of the UAE IStructE Regional Group. And I'd like to first mention our sponsor this year, Hempel, who is a supplier of intermittent and fireproof and durability paint for steelwork. And I'm joined today by 3 members of our institution to talk about 2 types of our membership models. The first one is the Chartered Member Qualification, MIStructE, acquired through the Research and Development Route. And the second one is the Technician Membership Model, TIStructE. Our speaker today will give us an overview of the route to get chartered, and they will also share their personal experience in becoming chartered. We've got Dr. Mustafa Batikha, Associate Director of Research at Heriot-Watt University. Dr. Mustafa obtained a PhD in structural engineering from Edinburgh University. He worked as a academic staff member at Damascus University and then moved to become an assistant professor of structural engineering, as well as associate director of research at Heriot-Watt University in Dubai. Dr. Mustafa is a recently chartered member of IStructE, amongst other institutions, and prior to his academia role, Dr. Mustafa has also completed a number of construction projects, including design and structural rehabilitation. So that's our first speaker. And our second speaker tonight is Arun Kumar Ashok. Welcome, Arun, who is a BIM coordinator at Jacobs. Arun has over 16 years of experience in the field of BIM coordination, Revit or structural modeling, and he has also experience in construction sites. Within his current role at Jacobs, Arun leads the BIM 360 design collaboration and various activities related to project and document management and project administration. Arun worked on a number of major projects in the region, and looking back, he has obtained a diploma in civil engineering and became a chartered technician TIStructE in 2017. I'm also joined tonight by John Price, who is a fellow of the Institution of Structural Engineers and a committee advisor for our regional group. Worth mentioning that John received the IStructE Keith Eaton International Award for his dedicated and exceptional personal contributions towards the advancement of the institution international interests. John specializes in building structures design, planning, health and safety, project management, and site supervision. He has led many landmark project construction in the region, and he's currently working at Aegis as a senior resident engineer. I have to also mention that John is one of our most valuable mentors at the institution, and I have personally benefited a lot from his mentorship. John will be with us to help answering the Q&A at the end. So here is how we will be proceeding tonight. We will have Dr. Mustafa kicking off, followed by Arun, and we will take the question at the end, please. That's all from me. Thank you, and over to you, Dr. Mustafa, if you'd like to start sharing your screen.
Okay, thank you so much, Iman. I will share my screen.
Thanks.
I believe you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Iman, and thank you for introducing me. I believe that you introduced me better than myself. So I'm Dr. Mustafa Batikha, and I have PhD from Edinburgh University in 2008. I've been in teaching since 1995, starting at Damascus University, and today I'm assistant professor in civil engineering program at Heriot-Watt University. And at the same time, I am associate director of research in Dubai campus and the founding editor for 4 years for the Center of Excellence in Smart Construction Research Bulletin. I have over 40 research publications in structural engineering, and I have LinkedIn profile, so you can go ahead and see more details about my publications and my career. And at the end, here is my email for future contact. So let's start with this session. So first question we raise here, why research and development route? So we all know that these days we have many research challenges like facing our world in sustainability and cost, health and safety, and as well we have new construction technology and techniques introduced to our world as well. So all these challenges need innovation in structural engineering, and this innovation come from the research route actually. If we look at this graph, which is very important to see how the increase in the number of that applicant who gain the PhD or who are doing research. This graph represent the PhD earned since 1995 here, compared with the US population. We can see as a conclusion of this graph that the granted PhD rate increased faster than the US population. And the slope of this line here is evidence how this increase is compared to the slope of the increase in the population. And today we have in the USA 0.7% of the population earn a PhD, which show that how important I mean, people start believe that having master or having B.Sc is not enough, and they need to go further with research study or PhD. If I go to a more example here, this show the increase in the PhD student at our Dubai campus in civil and construction program. So for example, in 2019, we had 15 PhD students in civil and construction management. But today in 2024, the number double, more than double. It's 35 now we have in civil and construction management only, but at Dubai campus, the entire Dubai campus has over 60 PhD students. And this is another evidence that how important the research now, doing research these days. And this, I mean, gave you indication why we need research and development route in any professional bodies like ICE and IStructE. Okay, if we go to the route itself, how being chartered membership via this route. So we have guidance over by IStructE. The first guidance is a brief, and it can be obtained using this link. And the second guidance is more detailed guidance. It's the initial professional development, or what we call it IPD. So it has more details, steps how you be chartered member. There is a recommendation in these two guidance that it's unlikely to apply for this route if you don't have more than 3 years after the PhD. Why? Because at that time you will have enough publication, because one of the documents you need to submit to this route is your publication. And if you have less than 3 years after obtaining a PhD, you may not have that enough publication in your record. What is the document you need to submit in your application? So first document is M/R form, and you can obtain this form. It's like form you need to apply your details, personal details, and many details in that form. Experience report to highlight the roles and responsibility of you have been taking. And the IPD final report form, so there are many forms, represent 13 core objectives you need to fill in. And research summary report and research publications. This research publications is instead of the exam. So this document is instead of the exam, usually done in conventional route. So in conventional route, there is exam need to be taken. But here in research route, there is no exam. Instead of that exam, you must submit your publication. And as well as usual, you need to submit CPD activity record. And finally, you need to pay fees like interview fees and application fees and research assessment fees. I will go one by one to explore more what you need to include in your application. So if I start first with the core objectives, which are very important, here we can see that the core objectives are classified into 3 main objectives. First is personal, engineering, and management, and commercial. And there is sub-core, and the total cores number are 13 cores. Absolutely, the guidance has, so there are forms you need to fill in for each of these core. And there in the guidance, there is example about how you fill in a good example. So for example, in the guidance itself, you will see poor example and average example, as well as you will find good example. So this gives you guidance how you make good form. I will go through one by one to give you idea as working in academia, what you need to include in this form. Because if you are working as designer or in the industry, I believe that these core are clear. But in the academia, maybe something special you need to include. For example, if we go to institution, the institution core means that how you improve your relationship with IStructE. Like, for example, are you engaged with regional group activities? Have you done CPT activities sometimes, because we are researchers, so sometimes we are invited to do CPD, for example. Have you facilitated contact between the student in your university with the institution? So as an example here, for example, before I am a chartered membership, I'm engaged with IStructE in the education committee. So this is a type of engagement. So I added to this core. Communications. We have in academia many type of communication. You know that the supervision, for example, on student is a type of communication between the academic and the student. Attending conferences is a type of communication. You can add it as evidence in your form here. Working with other, for example, when you applied to fund or proposal, you propose a project. So you are working with many sections here, like working with legal section, working with the funder, many people here engaged. Grant proposal, applying grant proposal, as I explore now, so is a type of communication. So many examples here you can use. Conceptual design in academia, as everybody know, that we are teaching problem and finding solutions. So this is required conceptual design. So we need to understand, like, for example, structural stability. If I'm delivering like structural course, selecting suitable foundations, materials, sustainability, and environmental aspects need to be included as well. So all this is a part, evidence part of this core. Analysis and design as well. When you deliver courses in the university or in academia, so absolutely some courses related to the analysis and design. For example, I'm delivering many courses related to the material, like steel material, concrete material, composite material, bridges, for example, one of my courses I'm delivering at Heriot-Watt. So all this need is evidence of the analysis of this structure and design using code standard. As well, in our research, we always insert a part of simulation, for example, and modeling, but a second part is about manual validation, which is a type of design. So so the manual we use standard in our research. In our research, any paper in structural engineering need validation from standards. So this is evidence or part of this core. Material, you need to understand the principle of material. So as I said, we are delivering many types of materials: steel, concrete, composite, masonry. So you need to understand the selection of the material. As well, if you have research about the material behavior, so for example, I have many research on the sustainable concrete. So I have idea how the concrete works and how I make it sustainable and environmentally friendly. So this evidence of this core. The environment issue now in our work, always, it's with us. We carry the environment issue with us in teaching and research. So both, so we have evidence of using this environment core in our work. Construction, so you must have some knowledge about this construction technique. So for example, this you can gain from the site visit when you take student or you accompany student to site visit. So this is evidence of your knowledge, you improve your knowledge about construction technique. The consultancy work, because a part of our work as academics is to do consulting. So we need to have knowledge about the construction technique of each material we use. The management skills, we have many evidence in the academia about management skills. Like, for example, we have PhD students. So at Heriot-Watt University, I have 5 PhD students now. So I need to lead them, how they defend their research successfully, for example, at the end. So as well, I'm taking some management roles. So like, for example, as I said at the start, I'm the Associate Director of Research and Bulletin Editor. All this need management skills. Law, you need to know the policies in your work. So, for example, in academia, there is policies between how you deal with a student in the academia. So all these policies are a part of this course. You can add it to that form. Health and safety, always you need to make sure that you are aware of the health and safety at work first. As well, for example, in academia, we do site visit. I mean, we accompany our student to site visit. So at that time, you must assure that the health and safety is applicable during the site visit. And working at laboratory, so many of my research now is about sustainable concrete. So I always engaged with my student at laboratory, and I must make sure that myself and my student are aware of the health and safety taking into the laboratory. So this is a part you can add it in this under this core. Commercial awareness, like for example, we apply for funded research project and the cost for, that we ask for this fund is a part of this project. So we must have idea about the cost. And as well, the running laboratory is additional cost as well. So we have idea about all this issue. Like buying equipment, for example, in laboratory is evidence about the commercial awareness. Contract documentation, as I said, that we do like project, we run project, and in this project we do legal document. So we are in communication and communicating with legal department. So this is evidence of the contract documentation core. Quality system, we apply the quality in our work. Like for example, as I'm working in academia, I'm doing quality for exam, coursework, and peer review, the supervision, the student feedback for all the courses is a part of quality system and evidence you can add under this core. I will move to the publications. So what is the publication you must submit? When I applied to this route, so I was asked to submit 5 research publications, at least 5 research publications. I remember that I submitted like 8 research publications. But for each publication, you need to submit a statement from a co-author about the type of your contribution in that publication. So, and now, by the way, the contribution in any publication is required by journals. So you cannot go to publish a journal without you are asked about your contribution. Here is an example. So for example, in my application, I submit this journal paper, and as well I submitted this statement from one of my co-author about my contribution. Although in many publications I am the first author, but you need to submit statement from the co-author about your publication. So this doesn't mean that if you are a first author, this means that you avoid to submit this statement. So keep in good relationship with your co-author to obtain this statement. The CPD activity record, you must gain at least 90 hours CPD over 3 years. That's what's written in the guidance. The CPD can come from 5 resources. So first of all, in your work, so you are doing monitoring, project-related research, development. So in your work, you can record the CPD at your work. Self-directed, like for example, writing journal or paper publications, You know that a part of this journal is the literature review, and it's very hard part. So reading these references in the literature review is a part of the CPD and evidence. Attending event seminar is a part of the CPD activity. Horizon broadening activities like attending TV, YouTube. Sometimes in our courses, we offer our students YouTube presentation, for example. Structural safety, that's that it's evidence that you read some report about the structural safety, like CROSS report in UK or COSS as well. After application, what will happen after application? So you will be asked for interview with 2 trained reviewers. The guidance said that if you fail 3 or fewer objectives, you will be only re-interview in those objectives. If you fail 3 or fewer objectives, but if you fail 4 or more objectives, then you will be asked to resubmit, or to resubmit your application and do a full interview again. If you passed all the core objectives at that time, your application will be passed to the review committee. And this stage will take time. Why? Because at that time, the IStructE or the professional body IStructE will start looking for reviewers. And the reviewer may accept or deny according to his or her busy time paper, and because of that, this take time. But I will advise that publishing in high-rank journal help pass the review step quickly, because the high-rank journal, you know that any journal add like 2 reviewer at least for you, and if you pass this review and your work published by high-rank journal, this means that you can pass easily the review done after you submit your publication. Okay, after you pass the research review step successfully, we can congratulate you that you will be a chartered membership. So thank you so much. That's all for me. And here is again my email. So I will hand over to, we will leave the question to end, and I will hand over to Aaron to start his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. And Arun, it's all yours now, if you would like to share your screen.
Yep, thanks, Dr. Mustafa, and thanks, Iman. I'll share my screen. Thanks, Mustafa. You will save my time, lot of time. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, we can now. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, good evening, all. My name is Arun Kumar. I'm going to introduce how we're going to get the engineering technician membership from the IStructE. So first, it's the institution is structural engineers. It's the world's largest one. It's more than under 100 years. Its professional service is there. So it's giving the good development for us, self-confidence and the technical knowledges of structurals while beam wise, and for the drafters who are the drafters, it will be very helpful, this body. And then I have joined in 2015 as a graduate member, and I became a membership as 2017. And those who are helping me to get the IStructE, so I have to thank a couple of my engineers who are the Sendil Kumar Kanapati, KKP, and Daniel White, Rob James, and Ben Hawks, those who are helped me to get the IStructE membership. And just I'm going to giving the small introduction about the advantages of learning. Learning will be the great things of technical membership is that I have been motivated to learn much about the structural engineering. It's meet lot of engineer thoughts. Institution event gained a lot of knowledge just by listening to the professional discuss with the projects that have been worked on, and networking. So attending a few seminars, workshops hosted on the IStructE web page, and the knowledge gained in the priceless. Even though I am not an engineer, I'm not able to get better understanding engineer perspective, which make my job easier and more enjoyable in this way networking. Attending the seminars, it gives the good resource and developing my knowledge and keeping update to date with technical developments. It will be very helpful. Accessing to the structural engineering magazines, encourage anyone in my area expertise pursue the IStructE graduate membership. It's easy to join and open unique access to learn about the structural engineers and their work, and here help us won the job with more efficient way. Sense of accomplishment, technician membership will bring more recognition from your peers as you attain the qualification equivalent to technical diploma or higher level. So I have completed diploma only. It's also impressed more employers about the community of your work, which may help you the prospects at work. And the career process, technician membership to anyone seek to broaden and horizon both terms, careers and knowledge buildings. Okay, next we think about the benefits of memberships. As Dr. Mustafa said, we will have the same thing. I'm not like to repeat again. So the same benefits will be the same what the Mustafa said. So I think I can skip this one. And technician membership institution, it's demonstrate a sound understanding of core structural engineering principles and aware of the accelerating technology, couple of ability locate us to research and development benefits with their structural engineering. Use and structural engineering knowledge, understanding the applied technical and practically, which when we are doing that as a modeler, when you are doing it, you can identify the more critical things, which is workable on site, which is not workable on site. Those things we can get practical knowledge as well. Where when you gaining the knowledge from the site and when you working on the drawings, especially, an ability to contribute construction design process and capacity functioning reliable member involved in the solving complex and structural engineering problems. When you involved in the site and when you involved in the drawings, you can capable to do the resolving problem solutions. We can give some solution to engineers. It will be very helpful to them. Commitment to public interest is all aspect. It's work including health, safety, risk, financial and commercial, legal, environment, social, and conversation and sustainability. Effective communication skill and interpretational skill is required. Knowledge of satisfactory and other regulation affecting the current practical in structural engineering. A base of information technology skills. Communicate your professional structural engineering, particularly regards to the institution, code of conduct, requirement of continuous professional developments. So just I'm going to say that those who are completed in diploma civil engineering in India, so these steps has to be followed. Prepare your application form of technician membership, and you have to gain minimum 5 years experience certificate from the employers. You can jump different companies or single company, it can be any kind of thing, but you need 5 years experience in that structurally. It's like a BIM or Revit, it's AutoCAD or any kind of way you can obtain the 5 years experience certificate. So those certificates which need to be either attested by Institute of Structural Engineers or currently employer who you have been hired by some employers. You can take the hard copy with the signed copy. So that will be the helpful for them, and apply through the online technician membership with payment and share all the documents via membership, all the soft copies to the membership at a IStructE organization. So you will receive the email come and forth. Sometimes they will inform you to send all the hard copies to the membership team, and it will take around 3 months time. They will verify and then they'll come back to you, you are eligible or not. So just to follow that email instruction, then you can you can easily you can easily get the IStructE membership on this way. Just basic steps of the establishment. This most of stuff is covered by Mustafa. So just I'm saying basic things. It's whatever the Mustafa said. It's repeating. Most things it's repeated. First, it's a initial professional. First, right academic foundation, which is the diploma or the right things. In the following steps, I'll explain you. And then the IPD has to be developed requirement, completing final report from each of the technician core. Create your profile, work with support IPD statement in 2 pages. In that, make sure that don't mention anywhere we did or it's like not group. Whatever you have did, it's always specific I. It's if I applying for it, it's everything should be I. I have done this project. I have in this project, I have done only the walls. I have in this project, I have did only that it's specific to yourself, not it's to be the common word. That's very important in that IPD. And then technician membership, it's as I said in the step 1, the qualification. These are the general qualification. It's who are other than the India, they can get these are the frames. It's approved qualification set level 3 as credited England, North Ireland, and Wales. This same thing is available in the website as well. You can get it from the website as Mustafa shown in the website link. And as Mustafa said, this is the 12 core objective in the technician membership, and a little bit different from the the IPD. It's a little bit different from the chartered membership. So I will explain that core objectives, and it's mostly same. That it will be covered with less effects. It's not become that much presentation and all, so it will be helpful for us. So there are 3 objectives is the initial IPDs. So the knowledge on base, practical and application is required. First one is the personal objective. It's 1.1 and 1.2 engineering and objectives, management and commercial objectives. So first is the appreciation. A general appreciation is subject to required, as well as the understanding of subject, how it's affect and integrated with your works and subjects. And knowledge, knowledge is understanding subject and its application is required. Experience, the subject to perform independently or under supervision. Ability, perform subject without supervision to be competent to advise others. So these are the core objectives for the from the IStructE point of view. The institution, communication, and the structural solution concept design, analyze and design, production and engineering document, materials, environment, construction, management skills, health and safety, commercial awareness, quality systems. As mentioned in the quick reference, the institutions, the knowledge and institution are involved in the institution hours, communication, ability to demonstrate effective and communication and interpersonal skills, concept designs, appreciation of the process, and providing variable structural solution with scope of the design brief. Structural solutions, it's a knowledge process of involving any analysis and design basis of. So suddenly you have the questions when we not completed the BE. So how are you going to give that analysis for the structural designs? So for this category, what I have did, I have spent some time with my engineers to sit with that, how we can going to, if for the thumb rule, they have some thumb rule. If the column spacing is this much, the beam size should be like this, and then the column height is this much like this. We get some basic knowledge from the engineers, and then we have spent time for the projects in the diploma end of the year. We'll spend time of the projects, so we can utilize them for this structural engineering solution. Same thing, production, it's as you're working on, you can submit those documents, ability. You can present the documents for the production of engineering documents. And the materials, it's as you're working from the everything you took from your experience only. All the material knowledge as explained before, it should be covered by the material knowledges. And the environment, relevant to the environmental and conservation legislation. And construction experience in the construction techniques. If you visit the sites, you get some site knowledges. So you can explain those knowledges in the construction experience one. And management skills, if you are the drafter, you know that what is the project document, project management, and what are the, if your BIM, you can submit to the BEP, TADP, MEDP, those stuffs are coming under the management skills. And how you are delivering the projects, these are coming under the management skills. Healthy and safety, when you going to the site visit, there will be general introduction will be there for each and every one who are entering the sites. There will be given by the healthy and safety instruction by the site healthy and safety officers. So those are the healthy and safety, and what are the common rules we have to follow. That's also it's included here. Commercial awareness, its appreciation and commercial and financial constitution. So when you're working as a management side, you can get some commercial awareness like billing and other stuff. So those things we can include it in the commercial one. Quality system and knowledge of quality system. Whatever the quality we are producing, like your drawings or you are producing like your documents, those things we can prove that as a quality systems we have maintaining. Like um, if you are ISO 19650, if you are following it, we can say that okay, we are following this quality system, so it will be the covered for the quality systems. So when you prepare the IPD, be positive and personal and specific. As I mentioned earlier, it should be positive, personal and specific. This should be there in IPD. And for us, it will be the reviewer will be there. So make the easy life, and reviewer want to lead your training. Reviewer want to prove your completed your IPDs. All profile must be presented with core objective orders. Whatever I presented in previous earlier here, in the same order, we have to prepare all the IPDs, and the IPDs it's going to be developed like a profile. The IPD regulation is profile guidance. Each profile should include profile checklist. This is the profile checklist. So in this checklist, whatever is there, you have to attach with that. You have compiled all the stuffs in the checklist. So maximum it's 25 mm depth will be the double side. If single side, it's 40 mm depth. If approximately 350 to 400 pages maximum you can use for the profile. If you fail to comply this requirement, the profile will be rejected and the interview will be delayed or cancelled. It can be happen. So once you fill the checklist, and then you can attach with the IPDs as well. And review IPD regulation. 12 core objectives should be there. Determine the process made against the core objective. Seek out of your mentor. Talk to the committee member. If you have, you can get the email IDs from here, and then you can get. And please set the target date like 2 years or 3 years, and then complete as soon as. So apply for the technician membership. That note, there will be interview section after submitting the profile. The 2 members from the IStructE, they will come and interview you. Please specific with you, whatever you have written in the profile book, they will ask a question from that. They will not ask anything apart from the profile. Whatever you submitted the profile is, they will open the book and they will ask question from that book. So if you fulfill all the requirements, you will be the pass. So as Mustafa said earlier, the process will be the same. If that's it from my side, Iman.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
I'll
Thank
hand
you.
over to the Iman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa and Arun. Great presentations. I thought they're very detailed and truly provide insights and hands-on information about how you've both tackled your respective chartership routes. So thank you for that. I have to mention that Arun was the first TIStructE in our regional group. As well as Dr. Mustafa, I am almost very much sure that you were the first one in our regional group also awarded the MIStructE through the R&D development, research and development route. So hopefully many more will be inspired today to follow your route. I appreciate the time is limited to give all your tips and tricks, but also thank you for your availability to answer questions for those interested. We'll open the floor now for questions. Feel free to put your questions in the chat box, or ask the question live if you'd like, to the attendees, to the speakers.
Iman, I just want to say one thing as well.
Yeah, sure.
Well, two things. Thanks to Mustafa and Arun for coming on here to talk about what is actually quite a small niche, but an important niche, because I do see that on the participants here, we've got one or two people who are and should be and should have taken the same route as Arun. Depending on when the guys and girls want to take the TIStructE will depend on what they do, because it is due to change in line with the new regulations with the CEng. So the core objectives, not too sure what they'll go down to, but they're going to be amalgamated like the CEng route, possibly maybe in 1 year's time, maybe 2 years' time, but very soon it will change. So depending on who's on there, and please feel free to contact myself or Arun for any more information. But again, I just want to personally thank Arun, because we've known each other for quite a long time, and Mustafa as well. Mr. Mustafa, you just need to get Poria to get his next. So, but anyway, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
We've got a question from Tariq. What is meant by good journals?
Yeah. So we have many journals to publish in. Some of these journals are classified as high rank journal, and you can know that by the site core. If you go to any journal will show you the site core of that journal. Like, for example, if you publish a journal in Elsevier or Science Direct, so it's high rank journal. Some journal like have site core of 13, 17. Some journal are 1 site core, 0.6. So how this journal impact the reader or impact the research it's about. So these journals are very strict. If you publish in this journal, they are very strict. They have very rude reviewers, by the way. So you spend a lot of time, like sometimes do correction following the reviewer instruction until you get your journal published. So at that time, if you submit like this type of journal, so the reviewer in the committee of IStructE will not say, no, this doesn't deserve to be reviewed, because it's already passed the reviewer in high rank journal.
Sure. I hope this clarifies, answers the question, Tariq. Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. The next question is from Ranjan. If one has a diploma in architecture but working in structure, is he eligible for technician chartership? Would you like to take this one, John?
Yes, sure. Unlikely. Same with chartership MIStructE. You need to have a basis, an education basis that is around numbers. So architecture isn't based around numbers. So you'll have like maybe a geography. If you did a degree in geography, that can be an analytical and based on numbers. Whereas architecture, no, because one of the actual core objectives is to do calculations. So I'm not saying no, but it's highly unlikely, unless you did maybe an extra module at a college to do some structural analysis. Contact me offline and let me have a look at what your experience is, because you could get through on experiential. It's an open arm institution, but in some aspects, I'm about 85% sure that it's a no.
Okay, thanks, John. I'll continue with the questions in the chat box, and we have Ahmad Ismail I will hand over to you in a few minutes, if you don't mind to bear with me. Thank you. So a question from anonymous attendee. I'd like to know how many projects examples are considered to be sufficient to meet the concept core objective.
Do you want me to
So-
grab that one?
Yeah, please.
For either, it's always, you've got to be able to demonstrate in your portfolio that you are, to whatever ability, knowledge, whatever the level of that particular core objective is. I'm going to say it's more than one, but certainly you need to demonstrate it within 2 or 3.
Okay, thanks, John. Next question for Dr. Mustafa. So I already got 2 journal articles published. I'm the first author. Are there a limit on the number of authors for each journal? So can he be co-authoring a journal with someone else?
Yeah, you can, submit this paper about if you are a co-author, not necessary to be the first author, but you need a statement from one of your co-author about the contribution you have made. So this statement is necessary. Even you are first author, you need a statement from a co-author, one of the co-authors.
Okay, thank you. Another question to you as well, Dr. Mustafa, perhaps if you can answer this one. So question about publications again of 5 papers in journal. Is it acceptable to publish an international conference and present at conference? Does this count?
Yeah, let me tell you that conference publishing is conference not like publishing in journal. Why? Because of the reviewer. So the reviewer in the conference are not strict like publishing in journal. But some conference, I'm not saying that you cannot publish, you cannot submit a conference paper, because some conference are of high rank. So if that conference is Scopus Index conference, so it's of high rank. But I can help you, so please contact me if you have a conference and you want to submit it. So you can forward that paper to me, and I can review it for you before you submit it and give you my opinion about that paper.
Sure, thanks for offering help, Dr. Mustafa. Another question from anonymous attendees. Can engineers from foreign countries like Algeria be eligible to be chartered? If yes, shall they be in place? I guess this one, the answer is absolutely yes, wherever they are. Provided they can find a mentor to help them locally. And would you like to add anything, John?
Well, just exactly to say what you've just said and reinforce it. The institution is global. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can become chartered and not necessarily have a local mentor. It helps. I've mentored people from Canada. I'm sitting here in Dubai, New Zealand, Australia, India, Africa, who have all got through and got chartered, or whichever various routes. So, yeah, it's a global institution. So
sure.
Doesn't matter whether you're on the moon or wherever.
Yeah, thank you. A question from Ramakrishna Godzi. Do you get a grant for the duration of research towards PhD?
Yeah, not necessary. Some university offer scholarship, but not necessary. Many of students do self-funded.
Yeah, thank you. A question from Tariq again. If you are a single author, then any statement of authorship is needed?
No, because if you are the single author, this means that this paper was made by you only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Question to you, Aaron, from Hammond. can you give us 3 tips that you would like to share with the TIStructE for the TIStructE review interview with those who are on the call today? Great question. Is there
Yeah.
anything? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. But reviewer, they will ask whatever you have write in the book. For example, if you have mentioned some design calculations in the calculation page, then they will ask about how you get this calculation, from what basis, from which book you get this idea, and who explained you how you got this knowledge. Like that, they will ask for the design aspect. If you are showing as a management, then they can ask for the questions. If you prepared some documents regarding the TADP or MADP, they'll ask this question: how you get this TADP and MADP knowledge? Which base you have get the things? So whatever you have written in the profile, they will open that page, and then from that they will choose the questions. It's not related general questions. All the questions, it's come from your profile. Whatever you have write in that profile, you need to aware of it. With your knowledge only, you have to write this profile. So you can interview, you can answer for all the questions. But say true what you have did. That's right thing for this interview.
Excellent. Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks.
A question from Al Mahdi. What is the size of projects that should be included in the concept portfolio? Is, for example, a bike shelter considered as a good example? Well, John, would you like to take this one?
Sure, yes. It could be used as an example if you could demonstrate you had looked at the solution in various ways, whether it was in different materials, different load paths, different ways of laterally stabilizing the structure. So you're looking at concept design of structures. So size is not necessarily the key here. It's how you look at different ways of designing it. But I'd suggest you had several other projects in your portfolio of you using a structure sort of that, because invariably bike shelters are just cantilever structures. So there's not a lot of concept you could do other than that. But it could be used if you were just filling in space, but I would not recommend doing so.
Right. Thank you, John. Question from Tariq. Is there a limit on the age of the paper for consideration through the research route?
No, not necessary, I believe. No.
Okay.
No.
Great. Okay, more questions are coming. Okay, so a question from Dr. Nagvendra. I got an opportunity to work in UK and Hong Kong as researcher, and I have published some papers in the journal, but wasn't able to publish in SCI papers. How am I able to excel as I am working industry and want to become chartered engineer?
Yeah, that depends on the quality of that paper. So finally, it's about the quality, and the reviewer will decide if you pass when you submitted this paper. Yeah. So there will be, if you pass the 13 core, so this paper will be pushed to the research committee and research reviewer, sorry. And at that time, they will decide if you can pass or not. The quality of your paper will answer this question.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. Muhammad, you are most welcome to join our regional group. We're happy to collaborate with you, and thanks for the comment. Are there any more questions? I don't see any. Anything from the YouTube that I don't think so. We got everything copied here, so we're good.
I have one comment I want to add, if you
Sure.
allow me, Iman.
Sure.
So just I want to say that either you apply to the research route, so you can include the consultancy work you have done in your 13 core. And during my interview, I was asked about some consultancy work I included in the review, and the interviewer were happy to see some of my work, and I offer them some like evidence, like photos, some drawings. So it's not necessary that you are in academia, so you don't offer consultancy work in the course objectives.
Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. We have gone over time. I'll just take one more question from the chat box. We got a few here. Some of the questions, by the way, you will find the answers in the presentation if you replay the recording. So one question around the location, essentially, to be chartered engineer, since this is global, which standards and norms are used?
Do you want me to pick that one up, Iman?
Yeah, please.
So check out our YouTube channel on the chartered membership prep courses. That will be answered there. However, briefly here in the CM prep, which isn't the topic of this CPD thing tonight, you state whatever codes, standards you use at the start of your paper, and just follow those. So it's whatever you use in Brazil, whatever you use in Iceland, whether it's Indian codes, American codes, British codes, Australian codes, it doesn't matter. You state at the beginning of your paper what you're working in and follow through on that there. As simple as that.
Right. Thank you, John. And this applies to exams and everything else as well. Okay, I guess we will stop here. Thank you all for your engagement, for the many questions that you've asked. There was a hand up, but it went down. So I hope your question was answered somewhere throughout the discussion. Thanks again, Dr. Mustafa, John, and Arun. Thank you very much for your help today. And thank you all for joining us. Good night, and hope to see you soon on our next CPD event.
Thank you, Iman.
Thank you.
Good night, all. Thank you, John, Arun.
Thank you, Iman. Thank you, John, for your
Thanks
time.
all.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.